Hey Bears fans, before we get into the meat of this video, tell me the answer to this question. Let me know what you guys think. Who should call plays for the Bears the rest of this season? If you think it should stay as Matt Nagy, type him in. If you think it should be offensive coordinator Bill Lazor, type BL. How about John DeFilippo? Called plays for Nick Foles and the Jags last year. If you think it should be him, type JF. Let me know what you guys think. Lots of speculation and chatter about Matt Nagy possibly giving up his play calling duties. That and more Chicago Bears rumors and news coming up on today's show. Let's kick things off with Matt Nagy. Is he broken as a play caller? Well, the Bears offense simply continues to struggle. And look, I've been a Nagy apologist. I've been a Nagy defender. But at some point, the head coach / play caller has to take some responsibility. I think he's pondering a change here. It sounds like he might make a decision to give someone else the play calling duties. He hasn't made his decision public as we film this, but I think there's a decent chance that Chicago is going to go in a different direction in terms of who calls the plays. Still think Matt Nagy has some upside as a play caller. Still think he's a good offensive mind, and I think he's got some personnel challenges with the offensive line and the quarterbacks. But, hey, I am down to try something different. We saw on Sunday this Bears offense failed to score on the first 9 possessions of the game. Didn't get points until midway or even later on into that third quarter. You got to try something else. And the offensive line isn't going to you're not going to snap your finger and fix that overnight. So maybe changing the play caller is at least something worth trying, right? Because, yeah, sure, 24-17 looks okay on paper, but those 17 points were when the game was out of reach. The Chicago Bears got absolutely whipped by the Tennessee Titans, and this offense simply can't get going. The defense is too good for the offense to be too bad. It's a shame. Hopefully something can change. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. Is it time for Matt Nagy to give up play calling duties? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Again, this will be the pinned comment. You scroll on down, top area of the comment section, and you can reply right there. Should the Bears hire Jim Harbaugh? I saw this floating around the internet. I don't think this is a great idea. Outkick.com, one of their writers, threw this idea out there. Oh, Bears should hire Jim Harbaugh. Now, there is some chatter that Harbaugh could be heading back to the NFL. Things have not gone that well at Michigan the past couple of years. Didn't have a great season last year. The Wolverines are off to a 1-2 start this year. But I want to know, is Harbaugh still like a sought-after coach in NFL circles? Is he some prize that he used to be? I'm not so sure. It's not like he runs an offense that is for the modern game, right? Like he's not running some high-tempo air raid that is super quarterback friendly. I think that's what struggled at the end of his time in San Francisco is that they couldn't score a lot of points. At Michigan, they're having issues putting up a lot of points. And look, Jim Harbaugh's had a hell of a career. Turned Stanford around, made them a legitimate program out in the Pac-12. We know how good he was with the San Francisco 49ers. He's done some good things at Michigan, hasn't been able to beat Ohio State. But this is a good head coach. But is he the guy I would want if the Bears move on from Matt Nagy? Which that's still a big if, by the way. I'm not convinced that's going to happen. Not really. Like, I would rather go with a young offensive mind, like an Eric Bieniemy type or Lincoln Riley, the Oklahoma head coach, than to bring in Jim Harbaugh. That seems a little stale to me at this point. I would not go with Jim Harbaugh, but I will ask you this question. If Matt Nagy's gone, if he gets fired, who do you want as the next head coach of the Chicago Bears? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to get Eric Bieniemy, the Chiefs OC, or Lincoln Riley. Those would be my top 2 choices. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And while you're doing that, subscribe to Chicago Bears Now. We crossed 16,000 subs recently, and hey, next milestone is 17,000. We could only get there with your help. We got videos going up almost every single day. We got the latest Bears news, rumors. We do weekly mailbags. Use hashtag Bears in the comment section for those. Let's continue to grow. We launched in January. I want to get to 20K by the end of the year. It's a lofty goal. I think we can have a chance of getting there with your help. Share that link with a friend. It's youtube.com/now. All right, should the Bears draft Zach Wilson? Zach Wilson getting a lot of draft buzz. I've seen a couple of folks on the internet saying the Bears should have some interest because they're not going to be drafting super high. Even if the Bears melt down and go 7-9 or something like that, they're still going to be picking somewhere in the middle of the first round. You're not going to get Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, but Zach Wilson out of BYU is shooting up draft boards. He's getting first-round buzz and could even go in the top 20 potentially. I've watched this kid play a couple of times out west for BYU. He can sling it. He can throw on the run. He's good in the pocket. He's kind of come out of nowhere this year and established himself as a legitimate NFL prospect, having an excellent junior season, 22 touchdowns against just 2 interceptions. Also has 8 rushing touchdowns. He's been fantastic as he has BYU as a top 10 team in college football. He's been really, really good. I would have him as my QB4 in this draft right now. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, those are your top 2 guys. Trey Lance third. I think Wilson could surpass him as QB3 in this draft. Then you got guys like Kyle Trask, Mac Jones out of Alabama is gaining some steam, Kellen Mond out of Texas A&M, but it really does drop after these top 4 guys, and I do think Wilson's in that top 4 now, and look, he's going to go pro. There's no way he goes back to BYU, I don't think, barring a major injury, and we know the Bears need a quarterback. It's that simple. Yes, the offensive line, gotta address that too, but if a quarterback you like is sitting there in the first round, you go and get him, and maybe Zach Wilson could be that guy. And I'll ask you guys this, which QB prospect do you want on the Chicago Bears? Who do you want, Ryan Pace or a new regime, to draft in next year's NFL draft? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments. Remember, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, probably not going to happen. I'd love to see Zach Wilson. Let me know what you guys think. And again, look, Mitchell Trubisky, Nick Foles, not the long-term answer. Tyler Bray, he's really good at holding a clipboard, but he's not going to be the future answer at quarterback. Maybe Foles is your day one starter next year and you groom whoever you draft to take over midway through the year or something like that. But Nick Foles is not a long-term solution. We know that. We know Trubisky's not either, especially now that he's banged up a little bit. More on him in a second. But you've got to upgrade from the current quarterback situation. Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles can't lead you to a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. I think this team can make the playoffs this year, but the chances of making a deep run are extremely rare. I won't say impossible because Nick Foles has done it, but the way he's played recently, that would be quite a shift in production based on what we have seen. Zach Wilson is an intriguing prospect. He's skyrocketing up boards. I think he'll be a first-round pick when it's all said and done, and we will see if the Bears have some interest. Now get going with our sports betting partners, Bet Rivers at chatsports.com/betil or chatsports.com/betin. The difference in links, well, you can sign up and deposit from anywhere, but to actually place a bet, you must be in the state of Illinois or in the state of Indiana. So chatsports.com/betil, that's where you can go place some money in the state of Illinois. Chatsports.com/betin for you Indiana folks there. You can sign up from anywhere. If you live in Texas like I do, sign up, deposit. Maybe you'll be in Indiana or Illinois later this year if you have a trip planned or something like that. You can go make some money. You want to make some money? Get that 100% deposit bonus. I promise you guys at sign up. Plus, bet on the under in all Bears games. That's what I'm doing every week, and I'm racking up the cash. Chatsports.com/betil in the state of Illinois. Chatsports.com/betin in the state of Indiana. Speaking of Trubisky, should the Bears go back to him once he is healthy? There's been a lot of chatter out there. I know Rex Ryan keeps pushing for this. Dan Orlovsky has a little bit as well. Look, we know the deal. The offense has struggled in recent weeks. Not a secret. Nick Foles has not played great. My take has been that this offensive line is a disaster, and most quarterbacks would have issues. But obviously, Trubisky and Foles are limited as it is, regardless of this offensive line. Look, if he's healthy, go back to him. I got no problem with that. I really don't care at this point. If you think he gives you a better chance of winning, I'm all in. I'm not convinced he does, but hey, it's worth a try. Trubisky did some good things the first couple of weeks. He was great down the stretch against Detroit, so-so against the Giants, and pretty bad against the Falcons. And that's what we've seen his 3 games this season. Very up and down, just like his entire career with the Bears. Not saying Foles has been a lot better. I'm just simply saying that Mitchell Trubisky, it's not like he's been lighting it up when he has been out there. So, you guys know the question. NF or MT? Who do you want to start? Type NF for Nick Foles. Type MT for Mitchell Trubisky. Type W for who cares? I don't care. I just want the Bears to win some games. 3 straight losses has me a little bit frustrated. Hopefully, whoever plays will play a little bit better. Again, Trubisky's still banged up with that shoulder. We'll see how he progresses. But if both are healthy, let me know who you want to start. Some injury news here before we sign off. David Montgomery's in concussion protocol. Another quiet game on Sunday, 14 carries, 30 yards. But this is significant. Bears are very thin at running back behind him. Ryan Nall played a little bit on Sunday. Cordero Patterson He doesn't do much of the running back position. Artavis Pierce is on the roster. Maybe you call up Lamar Miller from the practice squad, but I don't think it really matters because the offensive line continues to struggle. It's banged up. It had the COVID issues last week. This running game has been atrocious behind this offensive line, regardless of who has been playing at O-line and at running back. I still think David Montgomery is a really good back. I know some of you guys aren't as in on him as I am. I think he's really good, but the line's terrible. It's absolutely terrible, and there's just no way around it. David Montgomery hasn't hit 500 yards. Can he get going? Can he reach 1,000 yards on the season? I said he would rush for about 1,100, and through 3 or 4 games he was looking good, but this whole line just doesn't create holes. I'm going to type my 2 for no. I don't think David Montgomery reaches 1,000 yards at this point. Less than 500 through 9 games. I just don't think it's very likely, especially now. Maybe he misses the game while he's in the concussion protocol. All right, we'll sign off on this. Robertson-Harris is done for the year. He's been placed on season-ending IR. He will have shoulder surgery to repair an injury there. And, just another blow, right? Like, the defense has been able to stay mostly healthy, but ever since Eddie Goldman, opted out, defensive line, a little bit of issues, right? Roy Robertson-Harris wasn't playing great, but that's another guy you're down. Team Hicks has been awesome, but the rest of this group has just kind of gotten in the way. Bilal Nichols has played his best, but he's not an every down guy. John Jenkins has been in and out of the lineup. Mario Edwards has been a nice find for this defense, so that's been a plus. But now Roy Robertson-Harris, he will be done for the year, and we'll see what his future holds, whether it's in Chicago or somewhere else. But we won't see him the rest of the season. All right, that's all we have time for today on Chicago Bears Now. Hit that subscribe button. Let's continue to grow so you don't miss any videos here on the channel. I'm Harrison Graham signing off. We'll see you next time.